Hey, pickers, Mighty Mike, Pickin Weeds Vintage. It's January, it's MLK Day, and we got some snow. It's kind of a sloppy mix right now, but we are going to have some breakfast, and then we're going to clear the driveway, and then we are going to do a video on trash picking. That's right, we haven't done a video in a while. We've been very busy, and there are a lot of things that I'd like to talk about and share with you with our trash picking adventures. We were at LEESPORT Farmers Market on a Wednesday back in the fall, and we did a little trash picking at the very end of the day after we tore down, because I saw a lot of vendors just left their wares that they didn't sell right there. So we filled a box of goodies and I never went through it. So we're going to do that, and also show you a couple things that we've been working on. We've been very busy, and that's a great thing. So I hope you are doing well, and I thank you for joining us on this edition of Pickin Weeds Vintage. Yeah, I got a shovel by hand, and Ollie will be with us, right, Ollie? You gonna help me shovel? Yes, Ollie, you're gonna help me shovel, right? By the way, aren't these seashells great? These seashells are part of my mom's seashell collection, and I just think they're awesome. So pretty. There's even a piece of sea glass in here. From Sanibel Island, Florida, the seashell capital of the world. Almost looks like a vitamin or a pill, like a fish oil tablet you take. But yeah, it was the one year anniversary of my mom changing her residence. We lost her back in January 2021. So I was with my dad and my sister Terry, and my dad's moving up to New York with my sister Donna. So he'll be with family, and he was just kind of downsizing. And so there were a lot of things that I said, ooh, I want this to stay in the family. Hold on to this, hold on to that. Just like my mom's ferns. Those are cool. And then my mom's baskets. How about that? I didn't know what to do with all these baskets, so the hutch is a mess, by the way. So, but look at that. Isn't that kind of cool, that display? And then my mom had some other shells. And we're talking a lot of seashells here. Many years of collecting. They call it the Sanibel stoop, because you're always stooping down to pick up a shell. And then up here is also part of her collection here. Love the starfish. Isn't that cool? And then the other side, we go through the Muppets here. Some more seashells. Thanks, Mom. What an awesome collection. I'm sure she would approve. Not terrible. So we're going to use the shovel, since I still haven't got the snowblower working. And we're going to try an old trick that I learned years ago. Spraying Pam on your shovel, or you can even spray it into your snowblower. And what that does is, for a wet snow like this, it won't stick to your machine or to your shovel. Not just good for frying eggs and sausage and bacon. All right, time to get the gloves on, and it's time to get moving. We'll put this on hyper speed so it doesn't bore you. Wet cement, heavy. When I lived out of Lake Tahoe in the Sierra Mountain range in California, they call it Sierra cement. It's a heavy wet snow. It had wind gusts up to 40 miles an hour today. And it's trash day. Why is it that trash day is always the windiest, nastiest day of the week? Oh, my neighbor put his trash out. Guess I'll shovel an area so I can put it out. Maybe they'll be here later on. Hey guys, happy snow day. And remember, to our viewers at home, next time you get the shovel out or the snowblower out, don't forget to pay 'em at your local grocery store. It really helps when you're shoveling the snow for a non-stick experience. And remember, the next time you get the shovel out, the snowblower out, don't forget to also get your PAM out for a total non-stick experience. Try PAM. It really, really works. And remember, the next time you get your shovel out, your snowblower out, don't forget to get the PAM. For a total non-stick experience, try PAM. It's not just for cooking anymore. Yes! I'm here in the office in the production room, and we're going to talk about trash picking today. We have this box here, a banana box full of ephemera goodies. By the way, I got this Main Street Walt Disney World pennant, Walt Disney World Productions, and that was like this box, just laying there on the ground. What happens at some venues, the sellers, whether they're professionals, they're resellers, they do it for a living, they're retired, or they're just trying to get rid of some things, so they bring their wares there and they sell. Well, at the very end, instead of packing everything up, especially the items that they didn't sell, what they'll do is they'll leave a box behind. And that particular day that I was at the LEESPORT Farmers Market in the fall, this box was just filled with goodies. In fact, it was about halfway full. And then I put other things in it too. I couldn't believe how many items were left behind at LEESPORT. And that's not the only place that happens. That happens at quite a few places. You talk about trash picking, you know, now the people who own the property, they need to pay their workers to go ahead and pick up all the trash at the end of the day. And honestly, I could have had at least a half a dozen boxes of items in there, but I just didn't have the time. I had a marketplace meetup, so I just filled one box of goodies. And you know what? That was back in the fall. I still haven't gone through it. So we're going to go through it. But before we do that, let's take a look at some other trash picks that we did really, really well.
All right, Mighty Mike hopping on the mic, and boy, could I have had any lower energy level there. I was tired from shoveling yesterday, MLK Day. We had a snowstorm come in over the weekend into Monday morning. But yeah, we've been busy, and that's a great thing. I already had 2 marketplace meetups, and I have another one, guy coming up from Annapolis, Maryland. He's buying a bunch of things, so getting rid of a lot of items. And I believe it's because of the YouTube videos we're doing. Our eBay stores picked up as well. But here's a situation where the early bird gets the worm, yes, and sometimes it's nice to do a sweep right at the end of the yard sale day, community-wide yard sales. Wait till about 12, 12:30, 1 o'clock when people throw in the towel. It gets hot. They've been out there since 6 a.m. And they put a box of items at the end of the driveway. It says free, and we found a box, and it looked like a coffee mug, but it wasn't. Well, I guess it was a mug. It was a Trader Sam's Grog Grotto mug, first edition. And I was like, this looks like 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. And Kay was like, yes, grab that. That'll be a good one. So, and we almost went by it. So something told me to get out of the car and look into that box. And so we found a nice treasure. And it took a little bit to sell on eBay, maybe, 3-4 months. That was over the summer. And then we sold it not that long ago. So, yeah, $145 that we got for free. It's like finding free money on the ground. And the condition, of course, was in really, really good condition. But make sure you take pictures of everything just to show all the different angles and such. But we just lucked out. Right place, right time. And something told me to look in that box of free stuff. So that's one strategy to use. Community-wide yard sales. Do a sweep toward the end of the morning or early afternoon when everybody says, you know what, I've had enough, made $100, $200, whatever. Put the rest of the stuff out at the end of the driveway. Here's another good one. On my way home from work the one day, it was trash day on this one back road, and I saw what looked like, oh my goodness, all those bumper stickers. I remember those from I was a boy in the 70s. And you'd go on trips in your station wagon out to the Grand Canyon, all the different national parks. I was fortunate enough we did something like that, I believe it was 1978. And you'd go to the different gift shops and you'd buy those stickers. Well, these stickers just grabbed my attention. So, of course, as soon as I found a safe place to turn around, I turned around and I had my Subaru open the back and I threw that in because it was out with the trash. And we sold that one for $75 on Marketplace. And the guy collects old chests, and he just couldn't wait to restore it. But, of course, he was going to leave the stickers on. And we always like to see a follow-up, and I think he did send us pictures then later on, but he was so excited, and he wanted to know the story behind it and everything. So, yeah, sometimes you can find treasure alongside the road. I know there are people who like to dumpster dive and such, but you have to be so careful about, breaking privacy laws if it's on private property, public property, the main road, whatever. And if there are signs that say do not go in the trash, I think you really should respect that. Now, I'm 6'8". I've got a good reach. Every now and then you just see an item and it's sticking out and you're like, ooh, I can get that. And I personally believe, it's better when you can reuse, recycle, repurpose, recreate, rethink, reimagine. an item and keep it out of a landfill. But yeah, this was just out for trash. This was not in a dumpster. So what an incredible find that we turned trash into cash. But yes, there are treasures all along the road, and you just have to keep your eyes open. It's nice when you can go out in pairs, a team of two, but sometimes you're just driving along and you see something that somebody put out for trash, but just make sure that it is put out for trash, and that it's, you know, somebody leaving a bike there, the kids are playing, whatever. Usually a lot of people like to put a free sign next to their item to say that they are giving it away, but not everybody does. And you know, a lot of people also know the trash routes and what night that the trash gets picked up. But look at that inside. It's just a beautiful box here, you know, a chest from probably the 60s or the 70s. But yeah, what a wonderful treasure. It took me back to my childhood when I was a teenage boy, and we'd go on summer vacation. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. It's fun. All those colorful stickers. You know, you don't even have to restore it. Something like that. If you own a restaurant or you have a man cave or the garage, whatever, you can hang it or put it in the corner on a pedestal or whatever, and I think it just displays really well. But the guy who bought it collects chests, as I said, and he restores them, and he did a really nice job with that. I do believe he did leave the stickers on it. Anyways, but yeah, this is a trash picking video, and we are getting ready to go through a box of items that I picked from the ground that was left for trash after, you know, the people were out there all day selling, and they threw it in the towel about the same time, about 12 o'clock, 12:30. Oh, by the way, we trash picked that propane tank. It was from 1953. We also sold that as well. Some people use those for art, and they make the Minions or R2-D2 or Darth Vader, whatever. I mean, you can get really creative with some of those old propane tanks. Of course, it was empty. There was no gas in it, propane gas, whatever. But yeah, it was. We also found out for a trash pick when I was visiting my sister, and the guy actually helped us load the van. So we had a whole bunch of goodies that we got on that particular trip. Okay, the next one, Kay, we're driving along, and it's trash night in this one community nearby, and she says, pull over. I think I saw a bison head. And I said, you're pulling my leg. A bison head? Really? And it was a golden bison head. And what a wonderful artwork. There's a guy, we posted this on Marketplace, and we sold it for $60. He drove up all the way from West Virginia to buy our bison head. It was bittersweet because I really enjoyed him, and he was in the backdrop of many of our videos. But those are a few examples of trash picking.
All right, so let's dive into this box of trash. It was left for trash. I'm going to do the voiceover, and we'll open up the box together. Love this Walt Disney World Main Street pennant. Probably from the 1970s.
All right, so we got this nice banana box. And again, as I said, there were a lot of boxes that people left on this particular day. And certain flea market setups, people do that. And you see other vendors that kind of stayed a little bit longer. Look at that. Look how nice that looks. And that reminds me of when I was a boy and we went to Walt Disney World. I think it was 1974. And they actually had that ride, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. It was very scary, but I really enjoyed it. But yeah, some people stay very long, and then they'll go through all these boxes, found those clips. I mean, there's probably a box of 100 clips in there. So it was free. It was going to go to the trash. They were going to throw that away. So isn't that nice that someone can use that for an art project, or maybe even we'll find a use for it, because I like to hang things and use it for a backdrop, or if someone has a podcast or they're a YouTuber and they want to hang something in the back, some artwork. Here is Feifel Mouskowitz, Somewhere Out There. Remember that one? Someone is saying a prayer. Okay, Mighty Mike, don't quit your day job. Oh, I did. Sorry, too late. The American Tale, and then American Tale Feifel Goes West. There's a great song from that soundtrack. We're a duo, That was a great movie. And video cassettes, not the best in the world. I mean, it depends. I know you go on eBay and like E.T. sealed or certain movies sealed. They command a lot of money. Sometimes some of the Disney movies, you remember when they opened the Disney vaults, and you would find certain ones that commanded a higher price. This is a coffee table book, a book of beautiful women, and it's just interesting. The women we wanted to look like. So have to do some editing here, though, because there's some pictures that showed a little too much skin. So we'll cut those out. And but yeah, this is just, you find these books just part of people leaving them behind. And we also get some books, like some old art books like this, at the auction, and we did quite well with many of them. But it really depends on the subject matter. But some of those old coffee books are just fun to go through. So yeah, it was a box of ephemera, and ephemera are paper products that people collect. And this looks like an old brochure, 1974, maybe from a school play or whatever. But yeah, some old envelopes. I know there's Paper and Moose. Renee, she loves paper ephemera products. And there are other YouTubers that really, really get excited about that. This is an old report card. Oxford Public School, 1924 to 1925. Wow. Look at the penmanship on that. And this is very interesting inside. All of the subject matters there on the left-hand side. It is just unbelievable if you take the time to go through these. And, some of these you can display. You can frame them up and mat them and frame them and put some old black and white pictures with them and all that. I mean, maybe for someone who's a teacher, that'd be a nice creative gift to give them. But, yeah, the lighting's not so good here. I think I had still learning all of this as a YouTuber, and probably could have put the lights down a little bit. But yeah, some of these old ephemera products, these paper products, they're fun to go through, and some people parcel them up and put them on eBay, list them on eBay. And again, it goes to the subject matter. We acquired a cigar lot, cigar labels, and it was a huge lot, a lifelong collection. And there was an ephemera piece there. It was advertising for Havana cigars, and it showed a cigar factory in Cuba, the hand-rolled cigars, and that we sold on eBay. It sold right away. So some of those paper products, the advertising, you can do quite well. But I'm kind of going through this one-handed, so bear with me here. One is working the GoPro, and the other one is going through all of these items. And when I watch Blue Bus Dave at the flea market, and he's always going through, so there's Spiegel. Remember Spiegel catalogs? I think that's what that's for, all those Spiegel envelopes. See, somebody collects those. That's the thing about it. There are collectors for just about everything. So if you have, let's say, a dozen Spiegel envelopes, not used or whatever, and they have the old catalog, the not the invoices, but you know what I mean, where you fill out all the things. What is this? An old age tax. Isn't that interesting? I didn't get a chance to really look at that too well. See, I'm adding the voiceover as I'm looking on it, and I have a small screen to look at it, so I should probably have those items right next to me when I'm going through those. But yeah, Blue Bus Dave, he's filming with one hand, and then he's going through with the other things with the other hand. So I'm still learning that in the shoveling video too. I was shoveling that heavy wet snow with one hand. But here's the cutout. Used to be very big cutouts. This is a tiny safari. And it says 1932, 59 cents. I don't know if that was from 1932 or not. That looks too good a condition to be from 1932, but it does look like it's all there. This is pretty cool. This is sheet music. It is a folder of sheet music, and it's in really good condition. And again, for the music lover, for the music teacher, someone who has a music room, you could take a bunch of these and take them to your local art store. You can get creative and lay them out. Thanks for the memory. Remember that one? Here's a chorus line, what I did for love. Lay them all out and then, frame them up. So the possibilities are endless. Or you could put all those in a lot and sell them on eBay. Look at that. Those are one of those plastic records. Sometimes they would throw those on the box of cereal boxes. Here's 42nd Street, another well-known musical. But these are in really, really good condition. We're in the money. We're in the money. Here's Love for Sale by Tony Bennett. How about Tony Bennett? Didn't he just do a concert with Lady Gaga? Here's Wonderful. Remember that one? So, some of the music, the sheet music does really well online for those people who are collectors of it. And some people just like to put it down to the piano and play the music. And there's an old photograph. I think that's from the first insurance building or real estate building in the United States. Sometimes you get old photographs like this and some old brochures. They're just fun to look through. And again, instead of it going into a landfill, wouldn't it be nice to just take this out and maybe preserve some of the items and reuse or find another purpose for them? But yeah, Tony Bennett, didn't he just celebrate? He's up in his 90s. Look at the art, the colors on some of these old things. So yeah, this is a pretty interesting lot. Now, I don't get too excited about the ephemera stuff, and we like to go through it, and we'll probably keep at least half the box and maybe make a lot of something or other, or maybe even use some of the things for another purpose or for decorations, just to hang in the back or put it on, a cardboard display or something like that. Especially if you have an antique. If you're set up at an antique mall or you have a booth that you rent, some of these old ephemera lots that you find you can do a lot with. And again, this was just at the end of the day. It was the end of a flea market, and it got kind of warm. I think it was a really windy day, too, if you go back and watch that video. These are just items that people left. Look at this. Bear Carol love letters. Some people still collect the old newspaper, especially if it's a famous headline, like landing on the moon or JFK's assassination, those kind of things. People, Elvis Presley, the day he died, and the next day he was in front of all the different newspapers, periodicals throughout the country. There are people who do collect those things. But yeah, this is a box full of paper goodies. It just didn't sell that day. So instead of packing it up in the SUV, the station wagon, the van, whatever, they just decided to leave it. Altered States. I believe they had a couple of, it's from a movie when they give you a preview. What is that? A media pack. Here's this is like a jewelry box, and there's some really neat pins that we found in this particular one. I think this was possibly from a World War II veteran. And I think what I do here, I put the big box down because it's getting a little hard to work over as I'm getting lower into the box. So here, we put the box up on here, on the table, and then we're just going through the different pins that are in there. These small pins, which perhaps could have been attached to his uniform. But it's kind of cool, There are people who collect these kind of things. And again, just to leave it, kind of breaks your heart a little bit, doesn't it? It makes you kind of sad that they just decided to leave these things behind. Maybe they're just pickers, and they weren't an uncle's, or could have been the gentleman's widow or whatever. But look at this, 1969, the 91st Bomb Group reunion in London, England. Wow, just some history right here. But you could even sell this as a whole lot. Some more. Is that an aviation pin, I think, from the service? But yeah, when you unearth these things, it's just kind of cool that then you preserved it from going into the trash. And like I said earlier, or I think I say later on, one man's trash is another man's treasure. And this was just a cool little lot that, again, I found that someone decided just to leave it on the ground and not take it with them because they didn't feel like packing up. It didn't sell that day. You know, and sometimes you have people that go there once every while. They just want to do a clean out of their attic, their garage, whatever, and they'll take all the things and they'll just leave it behind. And then there are people, you know, that are retired and they're doing this to supplement their income, to provide an extra income. And of course you have dealers, you have resellers. I'm a reseller, and you try to go there with some regularity. So lots of different scenarios, but these things were left behind. All right, here's an old puzzle that is in really good condition. Again, it looks like the original box. It's the Eiffel Tower, made in the USA, and it's not very many pieces. But again, it just would have been thrown away. There are people who collect all sorts of things, and even the box displays well. I didn't put the puzzle together yet, but it looks like maybe all the pieces are in there. Not sure how old it is, but subject matter. Eiffel Tower, that is definitely a famous landmark. All right, so there you go. This is something that you would hang. Looks like it's from the 60s or early 70s, and it's paper. Maybe somebody has a collection of those, and that's the one they don't have. There's some calendars in here as well. They're not as old, but the artwork is just fantastic. World War II veterans commemorative calendar. There was a couple of those things in this box like that. This is interesting. This is an old film canister, Alton E. Bowers, and that's in Reading, Pennsylvania. Very well-known family business. And I looked at this, I thought, oh, these are the negatives or whatever, but it's paper. And it's not like the negatives that I grew up in the 70s, you know, when you had a film camera, an SLR camera like a Nikon or a Canon, and you'd have, you know, the film negatives, which you also made into slides. But these are rolled paper negatives, and I really thought these were fantastic because you see the images on there. I'm trying to do this one-handed. But yeah, I've never seen that kind of format that you know, you just roll them up like that. And I guess that's how you went to choose which one you would want to get enlarged, or if you got prints. You know, today everything's digital. But look at that. Those are paper negatives compared to, you know, the negatives that many of us knew, the plastic ones. But yeah, some family photos. I mean, these are treasures, and it's a shame to see those things just, you know, disregarded, thrown in the trash, or discarded and thrown away. So I really enjoyed going through that. And that's, again, something to get creative if you like to do crafts. And you could, you know, attach those to a wallboard or whatever, and, you know, make some art with it and reuse it, recycle, repurpose with it. Getting down to the bottom of the lot now. This is a holder of some sort. Maybe had a special pencil set or something in there that an architect used. And I think I pull out another, there's some more calendars. Here's some old newspaper clippings. Those are also fun to go through as well. But you get the general idea that, again, some people, I'll just throw that away. No, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at it and see what kind of treasure is in there, because, you know, maybe they collect different old newspaper clippings or old ephemera lots. This was a fun lot to go through, and I'm so glad that you tuned in today. Pickin Weeds Vintage. You know, if you go to the flea market and you see, here's a nice little architect's pencil. You see a box slot of old ephemera. You know, sometimes you can get them for as cheap as like $5-10, depending on what the subject matter is, and then you take it home, and you can make your own YouTube video as well and go through all of the treasures in that box slot. But it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of history there. And again, when you connect with Sonny's trying to get at the box saying, hey, Dad, I want to have some of this action too. But yeah, we're just wrapping this part up. And it was fun to do this box that had been sitting in the garage for months that we trash picked at the end of the fall flea market that we were set up at.
So there you go. That was a lot of fun. And it'll be fun to go through some of the ephemera lot here and some of these other things. But Wow, all this just left in the trash. So hope that we gave you some good tips today, some helpful hints for easy trash picking. A lot of times just be observant. Keep your eyes open. There is cash on the ground sometimes, you know, and we drive by it every day, all day long, and you just have to open your eyes. There's a good example at a flea market. At the end of the day, people are supposed to take the boxes with them. Sometimes they leave a box that they didn't sell behind. And what's one saying, one man's junk is another man's treasure, right? And also, you drive by something and say, wow, I can't believe that's out for the trash. Just make sure that it is trash. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this video. We really appreciate your support. Don't forget, of course, we're here on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button. It's free. We're also on Facebook. We're also on Instagram. And we have an eBay store, and you can check us out on Flickr. We're Pickin Weeds Vintage. I'm Mighty Mike. Thanks for watching, everybody. Happy picking.